I'm Austin Gilchrist. I'll be the instructor for the class. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to get in and make sure we are all getting in the works of this big blue button here. I will unmute you guys as well. How's that? Is everyone able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep, all good.
Deal. There is a chat function on the top left if you haven't used this before. So if you're muted or you need to be muted for a second, but you have a quick question, definitely throw it there. I'm going to encourage you guys to manage your own mute rather than me closing the class down and opening it back up over and over again, because I can promise that I will forget to do that at least once. And then definitely check your surroundings. But if you would like to, you can share your webcam so everyone can see you. Not going to require it, not for this meeting at least. There we go, hey. Did anyone have issues getting logged in? Did it throw any errors out at you? Any tips for someone else who may have issues going forward? We have 29 students in this class, and right now it looks like there are 18 of you guys logged in.
It had 2 links to come in, but only one of them worked.
Only one of them worked.
The
Okay.
The one with the description on it.
Okay. And that may have been my fault. I tried to resend this first one. I thought I had moved it completely. The one on the calendar, if you guys have started using your Canvas calendar where all of your assignments can get posted, that link should have worked.
Was it 2 in the same place? Because I had that in one of my other classes and only one worked.
Really? You know, this was honestly my first time using the video feature inside of Canvas. And so I opened one up earlier in the week looking at scheduling it, and that first one may have been the issue. But I completely deleted it, so not really certain as to where that went. I'll make sure that as we move forward, you only get one link, though, okay? And I think you all should have received an invitation for the conference right at 6 o'clock to your Coastal student email as well. So if you're having problems in the future, go there. Well, we're a few minutes in, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and just start recording on this. So if anyone needs to look at it later on, they can. But let's see. Well, my name is Austin Gilchrist. I am the instructor for this class. Day job, I work in admissions here at Coastal. A little bit of background. My undergraduate's from the University of South Alabama, and I got my degree in international studies and Spanish language, and then went on from there to the Faulkner University, where I finished my master's in business administration. And so one of the biggest things that we're going to be looking at through our class is how to successfully navigate this thing that is college, and then how we can learn how to take the same type of goal setting, financial resources, and financial management as a whole that you're going to learn in college, and as well as some of the social interactions that you'll have, and apply that to life moving forward. And so I do want to start out today by going through our course, talking a little bit about the syllabus, because that's probably going to be the most important thing that you keep ahead of. What are the course policies? What do I believe on late work? Where are you going to find your assignments? What type of assignments you'll have? And then we'll touch a little bit on the first group and first module, so to get you kick-started off for next week. We won't have class like this every single week, but we will meet for the next 2 weeks following today to get everyone on the same page, make sure everyone's in the course working well and has no questions. So with that, I do want to start off by getting to know who you are. If your name that's listed here is not what you'd prefer to go by, definitely tell me and let me make a note of it. So do this. Let's tell me your name. Tell me your major. I want to know some about your career goals. What do you want to be when you grow up? And then the last thing that I want to know is, what are you currently binge watching? I'll throw that one in because I think I left that off for me. I'm definitely currently binge watching a show called I'm Sorry. We've been watching that for about 3 days, and I think we're almost finished with it. So it's not few, but 2 seasons, but it's pretty good. So I'm just going to start calling out names, and if you would just kind of unmute your mic and tell us about you. We'll start with Abigail Rice. She's reloading the link. Maybe not. Can we do Adriana? Oh, having to choose. We're cutting in and out. Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
my name is Adriana. My major is health science. I plan on being a veterinarian. 18. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. And watching like a show.
Great. Aaron, are you ready to go?
I think it's working.
Yes.
All right, good. Guess it's just the mic. Whoops.
Can you only talk and not hear, or is it better now?
I can hear now. It's just, I think it was just my, I just didn't turn the mic on. I thought listen only would work. Apparently not.
All right, Aaron, what we were asking, give us what is your major?
Testing.
A lot of it's like forensic files and other like criminal show, like crime scene investigation shows.
Pretty cool. Promise, guys, this has a purpose. So, who wants to go next? Go ahead and just jump in.
I guess I'll take it. Oh, someone did it in chat, actually.
Yeah, I'll read that off next. Go ahead, Axel.
All right, my name is Axel. I'm 19. I think I picked a bad time to start college. I put it off for a year, and now we're doing online, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm binge watching The Office because I'm always watching The Office. Just some tips for everyone in chat. You might want to check that out if you haven't.
Absolutely. So, if you're having issues with the audio or with your mic, definitely try reloading the link. That's the #1 place to start. We'll be recording this, so you won't miss anything. Caroline Kinman says she's a returning college student. I'm in the process of wanting to graduate with a bachelor's in marketing, and I eventually like to do freelance marketing. I just finished binge watching The Umbrella Academy. Cool. Anybody else here? Deontay, just getting in, or? All right.
Hello.
Yeah.
My name is Nikolai Vasco. I'm 19. I'm getting my general education as of right now, and I'm not really watching anything. So,
Pretty cool. All right. Who's up? Abigail says, I'm Abby. I'm majoring in nursing and I plan to be an ER nurse. I'm currently binge watching Stranger Things. And so it's Uzura? Yes or no? And majoring in dental assistant?
It's a 0.
Azira. Thank you. Currently, you're majoring in dental assisting?
Yes.
And you're watching Lucifer and Camden. Cool. Well, let's let one or two other people go ahead and introduce themselves, and then we'll get started because I really won't keep you guys for terribly long tonight. All right, so if you guys have noticed you're having internet problems that are unusual because of weather, that's definitely one thing. If we're going to have a bunch of internet issues long term, we definitely want to talk about solutions to that. We won't be video chatting every week, like I said, but I do want to have a conversation and at least touch base with you guys on a bi-weekly basis. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and swap over and share my screen so that you can see our course over here. Because I want to go through our syllabus and I want to talk about a few of the rules regs this week, and then I'll let you guys go. So first, if you've not been in Canvas much, you'll have all of your courses laid out, and you can navigate through them using your courses tab on the side. But in all of your courses, you do have that navigation bar. This navigation bar stays on every page. So if you can't find out how to get back somewhere, you can always go home. You can always go back to your modules, assignments, wherever it may be. Yours is going to look like this, I should say. So when you get in after class across the next couple of days, if you've not already, take some time and not zoom into your screen and go through, read out the home page, and then make sure you take some time to look over the syllabus. Next week on the 1st of September, I am going to be pulling grades for the syllabus quiz that's in the first module getting started. And so all the information on that quiz is going to come from right here. This is Orientation 101. We are a 1-credit course, so your work is going to be reflective of that in terms of quantity, but that doesn't mean that you can slack. This will go into your course grades. Again, I am Austin Gilchrist. This is my work cell phone. So being the fact that I do work in admissions here, I am privy to the fact I do have a cell. So feel free to text this number at 250-8674. If it's past 8 o'clock at night, probably not going to get an answer to the next day. So just know that ahead of time. And then you can, of course, can always send me an email, austin.gilchrist@coastalabama.edu. This course technically is based out of Gilberttown. I throw in there in this chat if any one of you are on or near the Gilberttown campus, because I'm not sure if we have many students that are in the class close to the Gilberttown campus. But my office is located in Bay Minette in Memorial Hall. If you need to talk to me, email me or give me a phone call, shoot me a text, and I'll be more than happy to set up time to meet with you through video chat. We can do it over the phone, however is most convenient for you, and we can address any issues that you have that way. When it comes to office hours, again, essentially we're looking at the fact that I'm available when you need me. I'm here 8 to 5 during the day, and then when it comes to the evenings, I'll be available Monday through Thursdays, 5 to 8. So we'll call those my office hours. We are only Thursday meeting. We're not a Tuesday, Thursday class. It is for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I don't think we'll hit that time frame most weeks. The majority of your work is going to be done self-paced through your modules. You'll have a lot of self-reading and going through presentations that we've loaded into the course already. So when you're not in class, it doesn't mean that you don't have assignments due. It just means that you need to be on this Canvas account working. Any questions, guys? No questions. You do have a textbook for this class. If you have not gotten it already, it is listed here in your syllabus. It's Step-by-Step to College and Career Success. Gardner's the author on that, and you can order that from the Barnes & Noble bookstore. You can get it as an ebook, or you can get a hard copy. Right now, your ebooks will be available almost instantaneously. The last I heard, they won't start reshipping your hard copies until the 4th of September. So your option would be to purchase it from the bookstore and have them ship them back out towards you. But you will need that textbook. If you've not already placed that order, go ahead and get that in. And you will need to make sure that you have access to Canvas. If you did not know this already, there is a Canvas app, so you can keep up with some of your due dates a little bit easier from your phone. So you're not always having to be around a desktop to log in. Questions? All right, so course policy states that for official communication for this course, we'll use Canvas. I will be posting announcements regularly. All of your assignments will be located in the Canvas calendar there. Makeup work, unless there's a documented emergency, makeup work won't be accepted, but makeup work will be different than what I'm going to call late work. So makeup work is going to be anything that falls after the late work policy, and we do want to make sure we have approval for that and then that documented emergency if we can't have prior approval. For late work in this class, again, the workload is reflective of the fact that this is just a 1-credit course. So if you miss an assignment, a 0 does automatically populate on your gradebook. You can turn that in. I'm going to give you guys 3 days to turn in that work for a 10% deduction. After that, it's going to be a permanent 0 in the gradebook unless you have talked to me prior to the due date and we've made arrangements for you to turn that in late. When it does not fall under this policy, that's when it's going to back out to our makeup work policy, saying unless there's a documented emergency, no makeup work will be accepted. Any questions on that policy? Because I know that life happens. I know that we're going to miss work. No big excuses needed for it. You miss work, you've got 3 days, it's 10%. Outside of that, it's special circumstances, and we need to talk. So does anyone have a question about that makeup work and that late work policy for this class? Now I said that majoring in computer sciences and wants to code video games. If you're wondering, guys. If you need special accommodations for class, definitely take those up with the ADA office. Lee Barrington is our ADA rep. He'll handle all of that and let me know what those accommodations are, so that we can make sure that you are receiving what you need. Reasonable accommodations for any student who has a disability of any kind and needs, those accommodations will be granted. So if you have a question on whether or not you would qualify for it, you can link out all of these to our student handbook and read a little bit more. When it comes to class attendance, I expect attendance to mean this. For the most part, I'm going to be looking at the fact that you complete assignments on time. And that when we do have scheduled class meetings that you check into those. Again, that won't be every week. So those are on the calendar. We'll look at that in just a second. I will be looking at who's here, who's not, who's participating. If you come into every class and you're muted, you never participate in the course discussion, and at the end of the semester you're asking for me to bump a grade, it's probably not going to happen. Because I'm going to be using your class attendance to judge that specifically, because there is a high correlation, as the syllabus tells you there, between class attendance and the final grade. You're going to miss, it's okay. Let us know, we'll get to work back to you. These video recordings of every lecture will be up and available to you guys, but you're responsible for preparing all of your assignments for the next class if you do miss. So we encourage you to meet. Every time we meet, you should be here as well. Here it is. All right, satisfactory progress. If you feel like you're not making progress in the class, if you're not going to receive the grade you think you want to, come talk to me first. Because there's definitely ways we can help you improve on those. For your code of conduct, academic honesty here in the course, of course, this falls under plagiarism as well, referring back to the student handbook. And then withdrawals, the last day we withdraw from this course is December 9th. If you're looking for an academic calendar, I'd look for the important dates over in the student handbook. I know that the last day to drop this class is actually Monday. We've pushed that deadline out. So questions on any of the policies and procedures portion of the syllabus?
I have a question. Would you prefer our videos to be on or off? Or
I'm swapping back and forth, so you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. I know some of us may have connection issues, and we may be able to hear and we may be able to speak just fine. But with our video on it, we can't. So let's make sure we can use just whatever we can communicate with best. I always like to see face-to-face interaction. I know we're limited to that in this course. So whenever you guys do have a good connection, we are having group discussion, I'm comfortable with your videos on if you are. Does that answer you?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks.
Yep. All right. Here's your grades. Your grades are coming this way. So your final grade's broken down by class assignments, chapter quizzes, a midterm, and a final. You'll note that your final is 20 points, your midterm's 10 points. Your chapter quizzes, those will come, you'll have one of those every other week, with the exception of this coming week, which will be every week for the next 2 weeks. But and then you'll have your classroom assignments. So that's anything put in. Discussions, that's personality assessments that we'll do in a few weeks. On those will both weigh 35% of your final grade. This is a scale grade for the college, 90 to 100 for the A, 80 to 89 for the B, 70 to 79 for the C, 60 to 69 for the D, and anything below 59 is going to constitute the F grade for this class. You can see, again, the majority of your work has been loaded into this course already, scheduled out for you, and so you can see the due dates for all of those, as well as the dates and times, I should say. Here at the course summary, please note this: I have set every single one of your due dates except your final exam and your midterm exam to show 5:59 p.m. I remember being in freshman classes, and the one biggest change that I had from high school to my freshman classes was looking ahead, doing all the work, and then coming to class to discuss it. It drove me insane anytime I had an instructor do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to read ahead one chapter, but I'm going to ask you to do a quiz and all of your chapter work. Just be sure it's turned in quite literally before we start the next section, so we can close one section and open a new one each week, okay? All right. Live and breathe by this course calendar. You can get to it right over here on the global navigation bar in gray on the left-hand side of your screen. It will have your class meetings in it, so if you open them up, you can actually join your class meetings from the calendar. You can also access any of your assignments there as well. So that will be populated through the whole course. Good. Well, that's the announcements portion of the syllabus. Do we have any questions before we move on? I have a very, very brief 10 to 15 minutes introduction for chapter 1. Anyone have questions on my expectations for the course, for you, class meetings, assignments? All right. So this week coming forward, you guys are going to go into your modules. You will complete what is here. Each time you complete one, the next will be able to be unlocked. Once we end this class today, I'll open module 1, so you'll be able to see everything that's coming forward. Again, you do have your syllabus quiz on Thursday, so make sure you come in here, using Canvas, watch the video, and go through each of the steps for your module. At times, you have, you'll see in the top a button that says completed or done, and you'll have to go in there and make sure that's checked before you can unlock the next module. So if you have issues unlocking a module, be sure to go through each one of yours and make sure if it asks you to check for completion here at the top left, that it is showing. You will need to download Lockdown Browser for this course. The Respondus Lockdown Browser has to be enabled for you to take all of your quizzes for this class. Here are the instructions for it, as well as your video. If you have issues with Canvas, you can troubleshoot yourself with a Canvas guide. Probably 9 times out of 10, your answer is going to be here. If not, you're going to default back to the help desk at coastalalabama.edu. Make sure that every time you email the help desk about an issue with Canvas that you CC me So copy me on that email so that I have a record and you have a record of your issue. This is going to not just help me know why you didn't turn something in or why you weren't able to participate in class. It's also going to help you in the fact that you have that documentation proving your issue, and you will get a response for your resolution of that. So we'll know when it's solved. And so be sure to do that when you have issues. Definitely syllabus quiz. I'm going to have to leave the student view because we are going to talk just quickly on your first module, which is, again, opening up right after this class, knowing the ropes. So essentially it's talking about how do you get through college. That's going to be the topic of chapter 1 of your textbook and the overview of your first module in this course and your first assignments. So the goal is so that you understand the policies and procedures here at Coastal Alabama. Being first-time students here, we realize that you are having to learn not just how to do college, not just how to do life, but also you have to be successful in all the classes that you're in. And so we're going to cover all of those in this course. We're talking about goal setting in this chapter, and that's exactly what we're going to focus on tonight. For this, you do have 2 graded assignments. You have a chapter 1 quiz, and you have your you have your module 1, your learning policies and procedures with that syllabus quiz. So you have those 2 assignments for this module. Anytime you have questions on this chapter, definitely feel free to shoot something out to me, but we'll go through on that one. So each of yours will have a PowerPoint. We're going to go through this one together. Step by step to college and career success. And I should back out and make sure that we don't have any questions and that everybody is still with me. Thanks, Abigail. Alex asked, do we need to open the quizzes in lockdown, or we just need to have it installed? Yeah, you will open your quiz through lockdown. Basically, once you open that lockdown browser, it's going to shut down any access to anything else on your desktop or on your computer so that you can only access that quiz. Okay. Cool. So the topic this week, again, is going to be taking those first steps. So first steps for you guys are going to be thriving college and college life, exploring purpose and goal setting, and connecting with other people. So first and foremost, I think it's extremely important that we understand the value of college. The increased earning power that you get from having a college degree. And every time you step up from one level to the next, whether that's from no high school diploma to a high school diploma, moving on to the associates or a certificate program, even to the associates, to the bachelor's, to the master's, to the professional degree that follows that, you're increasing your earning power. But not only that, you're also gaining insight and you're gaining information that will help you keep up with the changing workforce. We can see around us every single day that new technologies are popping up. Some jobs are being eliminated because of it, but it's not meaning that one job just goes away and it's gone forever. A new job with a new focus and a new skill set is coming up in its place. And so that obtaining new skills is where we can continue to move forward. When it comes to your education and what you're getting out of a college degree, what you pay versus what you get in the long term, you can kind of see a little bit here. If you're looking at less than a high school diploma, you actually are looking at a 7.4% unemployment rate. Whereas if you're looking at a doctoral degree, a professional degree, or a doctoral degree at the top end, you're looking at 1.6%. And so that big difference there, I mean, gosh, it's huge. And then you can also look at the reverse and say, what's your median weekly earnings? This is back to 2016, $1,664 a week for a doctoral degree. Whereas if you look at the very bottom of the scale, less than a high school diploma, $504 a week. I've seen other examples of this that put the difference in a bachelor's degree and a high school diploma at almost $800,000 over a 30-year working lifespan difference in earnings. And so if you really break that down to what the value of a college education is and what you're getting out of what you're putting in, you're really looking at something like $18,000 to $19,000 per class that you're taking added to what you can earn for the next 30 years. And so education does pay in that sense. When it comes to thriving in college for these opportunities, however, when you're looking at developing your formal and informal networks, gaining and practice academic skills and becoming a critical thinker, what do these things mean? Well, first, when it comes to developing your networks, informal social networks is what? It's your friends, right? So you're going to gain lifelong friends in college, folks who you'll develop memories with, and you'll go through and come up with these crazy stories of back when I was in college, I did this, or remember when we did that, or hey, that semester abroad was wild. And that's great. Those people are going to be your people for life, but you're also going to develop formal networks. So formal networks, what is that? That means professional networks in its sense. So that is making connections with instructors, making connections with advisors, getting involved in organizations on campus who involve themselves with professional groups, whether that's Phi Theta Kappa, one of the honor societies here at Coastal Alabama. One of the honor societies here at Coastal Alabama who do involve themselves in professional organizations. So then not only what you gain here right now at the college level in education, you can then take and move those connections into your career. So when you need advice, when you need a job, when you need a reference, you have someone to back out to. Gain and practice academic skills, of course, that is maybe one of the base levels of college, and then developing your critical thinking. You're going to discover in so many of your classes that it becomes more than just right or wrong, but a discussion of those gray areas. And that's where your critical thinking is going to become honed. All right, all right. So goal settings, well, we'll wrap up tonight. I'm going to ask you guys to finish up this presentation as a part, because I don't want to just sit here and read through presentations for you. But thanks, just checking in. I do want to talk about the SMART goal setting model, or the SMART goal setting guidelines, because it's where we're going to come in to how do you plan on graduating? What do you plan on doing after life? What is your degree? And I know as we talked at the beginning of class, some of you aren't quite sure. And so I want to leave you with a strategic way of doing that. So is anyone familiar with the SMART model to goal setting? Did anyone talk about this in a high school course? Have you heard about this in a leadership training?
No, sir.
All right, well, SMART just means, if you break it down, it's an acronym, of course. So it is going to be specific for the S, measurable for the M, attainable for the A, realistic or relevant for the R, and timely for the T. There they are. You have a question? Okay. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Be systematic to reach long-term goals. So let's have a brief discussion tonight. What would you say it means to be specific in your goal settings?
Map out what you plan on doing
Map out what
instead
you
of
plan
just
on doing.
saying the end goal.
Instead of just stating the end goal. Okay. What else, guys? Knowing exactly what you want to do or what you're planning to do. So kind of having the end in mind. So yeah, it's definitely one thing you want to do when you're looking at goals is you want to start your goal planning and your goal setting with the end in mind.
map out like concrete ways to get to where you need to go.
Yeah. Understanding what it takes to reach your goal was journey. Yeah, so when we say specific when it comes to your goal setting, we quite literally are going to take that to the extreme. Don't sit around and say, okay, I have this business, or I have this plan to get a college degree. I'm going to reach my bachelor's degree. I'm going to get my bachelor's degree, or I'm going to get my doctoral degree. I'm going to get my PhD. That's a goal, right? I'm going to get my PhD, or I'm going to get my bachelor's, or I'm going to get my associates. But it's not a specific goal. What would be a way to make that a specific goal?
Like getting a degree in psychology.
Yeah.
That would be specific.
That's a way to add that, bring that in some more. How can we bring that? All right, so I'm going to get a bachelor's degree in psychology. So we went from here to here. Let's come on in a little bit more. Two years. Yeah, we could throw a time frame on it. So I'll give you a little bit of more about me. I own a business. That's one thing we do. Outside of this, my wife and I are farmers insurance agents. And so this past December, we set ourselves a goal. In 6 months, we want 200 new customers. Is that a specific goal? Okay. What if I just said, hey, we want more customers? Is that a specific goal? Not at all, right? And so on that note, if I say I want more customers, well, more customers is just one more than I have, correct? That could also be 1,000 more than I have. So if I give a specific goal into, hey, I want to receive a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I'm going to do it in 3 years, not 4. That's a specific goal. Then we have to bring that through more. How do we measure that? How do you measure what that goal is? Well, we're going to first make sure our goal is going to be a goal that we can quantify, or a goal that we can track. How do you measure start to finish on your degree? So if you're looking at how to measure start to finish on the degree, right now, where are we? We're at like 0.0, right? The first semester. Or we're getting on our starting point. We're just jumping off. For a bachelor's degree, typically it takes us how long?
2 years?
Bachelor's is going to be 2
Or
years.
4 years.
Associate here, coastal will be 2, right? So we can break it down that way. So I have a measurable or quantifiable goal to reach my bachelor's. I'm going to go to coastal Alabama for 2 years, where I'm going to receive an associate's. I'm going to look at my concentration around psychology, all right, or health sciences, or biomedical science, or general studies, or it might be in engineering. It could be in computer science and programming, whatever that is that you're studying. If you have a 4-year option for that, and you're looking at our example for a psychology degree in 4 years, a bachelor's, then I'm going to transfer where? Insert dream school. I went to the University of South Alabama, so we'll put that there. And I'm going to finish my degree in psychology in 2 years. So now we have a degree that's specific, and we have a goal that's specific, and we have a goal that is measurable, or it's quantifiable. I can track my progress from 0, just saying I have a goal, all the way through to completion over on this other side, right? And the third part of that SMART goal setting method is the A, or an attainable goal. So when we're looking at attainable goals, what we're going to do is we are going to have a goal that we can work towards, a goal that's challenging, but we are going to work towards a goal that you have the tools and that you have the resources to attain. So it's one thing to confuse goal setting with wishful thinking, and it's another thing to set a goal. So I definitely want some feedback on this. Is it a goal, or is it wishful thinking to say, I want to win the Mega Millions lottery?
No, because it's not realistically attainable.
Right. It's not up to me, right? Do I have the tools and do I have the resources to attain that? I can go and I can buy a ticket, but when I buy that ticket, what do? I hold that ticket and I say, please let my numbers be on this ticket. It's a sticky note right here, right? Please let these tickets be there. Does it work? Hasn't yet. That I can guarantee. So it's also the whole thing of you have to first buy a ticket, you know? And so you have to have a goal that you can work towards that, yes, it's challenging, that's going to push you to your limits, it's going to make you learn a new skill, that's going to bring you outside of your comfort zone, but a goal that is attainable at the same time, somewhere we have the tools and resources. So the attainable goals. For R and SMART goal setting, we do have to have a goal that's relevant, or a goal that's realistic in that sense. When we look at relevancy, what we really mean is, does this goal have meaning to me? So let's look at our example. We'll back up with our example of a degree. Is earning a bachelor's degree in psychology something that's attainable for each of us? Well, we've made it this far, right? So a little bit of grit, a little bit of hard work, we can definitely go to the next step. Is that goal relevant? Does that goal mean something to you? That brings the question, why are you here? Why are you in college? What are you looking for? So if you don't want to say it out loud, put it in the comments. Why are you in college today?
Because I want an associate's degree. That's about it. Not sure yet.
Why do you want the associates?
Just for the extra, income. People look for that when you're looking for jobs.
Okay.
So
You want to become a nurse eventually? Okay. Well,
I wanted an associate's degree so that way I can have some kind of concrete thing on my resume to say that I,
okay.
qualify for the job instead of not having any references.
Okay.
Today's job market is not good.
Yeah, absolutely. Keontae seems like the best option. Pursue a career in something I would enjoy doing. I want a degree in computer science. All right, I'm going to challenge you all to do this. Bring back, when we meet next week, I want to know the following, okay? I want to know why you're in college, and I don't want you to use the word job. Don't want you to use the word job.
okay, gotcha.
Let's work towards that. So for our example, our degree is relevant because since we can all remember, we've had a personal interest in psychology. Learning about psychology is going to bring happiness and fulfillment to us, and we are going to then turn that into a profitable career. So it's relevant for us because we are going to make sure that our goals are relevant in the sense that they add to or they help build our plans for the future, right? Goals of build to or add to, or add to our plans for the future. That will be your R, relevant. So the last one, T, timely or timeliness for your goals. That just simply says give yourself a deadline, right? You have to work to a point. So do give yourself a deadline, but don't give up if you don't meet it. Sometimes we set a goal and life happens, right? Sometimes we set a goal and hey, COVID-19. Sometimes we set a goal and we get so close but we don't quite make it to that point because we've set our deadline. That's okay. We're not always going to get exactly what we want when we want it. We're not always going to reach every single goal we have, but our grit, our stick-to-itness, that thing that which makes us keep going even when we don't want to, that's what's going to keep us working harder. That's the next time. If you don't reach a goal, or if you know you're tracking towards not reaching a goal, because when you're setting a SMART goal, the second letter M is measurable, which means it's quantifiable, it's trackable. We'll know if we're on the right track, right? We'll be able to say, okay, I've got a deadline, I have a measurable, attainable goal, it's relevant to me, I know I have the tools and the resources. So timeliness says, once we've followed all through that, we're realizing that we're at this point, we're not going to quite make it. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to use the resources and tools I have, like support services or tutoring for your classes as you're going through it. Peer study sessions. If you need help understanding a concept, but the instructor is just not explaining it the way you need to understand it. So those are us asking for help and sticking our nose to the grindstone and working even harder. Guys, do you have anything that you want to add? Questions about SMART goal setting?
I didn't have anything to add about that, but I wanted to let you know that the student share might have some latency troubles because it's mirroring all the other people's video screens. So it's just got the same screen going down about 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 times now.
Thank you.
That's all. I didn't know if you knew or not. Just making sure.
No, like I said, this is what you can see on my end. And I see it kind of rolling down and rolling down and rolling down. Yes. I see.
Okay, I was just making sure. Sorry about that.
No, I appreciate it. No, like I said, any issues that we're having across the course, we need to work through these together to make sure that you're getting what you need and you're not having, trouble in this course understanding what I'm saying or interacting with other students. Okay, so I appreciate that. This coming week, what we're going to do, I'm going to first foremost opening your next week's assignment. So when you go into, I'm going to take rid of the homepage, your Canvas account, and you go into your modules so you can do your assignments for this upcoming week, you'll now see Module 1 is open. The PowerPoint that we were reading off for tonight is here, Chapter 1, Taking the First Steps. Definitely need you to go through and complete the syllabus quiz. Remember, the due date of that is not next Thursday, it is early. For attendance verification for this class, we have to have a grade in before the 3rd, which is our next class meeting. So this syllabus quiz is going to serve as proof that you have been participating on week 1. So September 1st is the deadline for your syllabus quiz. Go ahead and make sure you, earlier the better, get that done. Read through your opening course overview. Make sure you're paying close attention to how to use Canvas at this course. Download Lockdown Browser, and then jump into Module 1 this coming up week. It's Chapter 1 for your textbook, so go ahead and make sure you get that read before next week. We'll be talking more about the topics covered there. You do have a quiz following your Chapter 1 reading and Chapter 1 PowerPoint. We'll talk about the Survival Guide to E-Learning, which is a resource found on your Canvas dashboard. It's linked out here. We'll talk about the student handbook next week and policies and procedures here at the college. What 15 to Finish is. 15 to Finish is talking about that measurable goal setting. How can we take measurable goal setting and put that into quantifiable terms? 15 being 15 credit hours per semester so that you can track towards your 2-year graduation for an associate, 4-year graduation to the bachelor's, and on and on. Module 1 quiz covers everything we've covered before you get to this level. And then your wrap up towards the end of your module talks about transferring. So what do you do after Coastal? What types of funds are out there for you guys to use? And we'll close it out there. Do you guys have any questions for me before we end class?
No, sir.
All right. Well, if you have anything you want to know, if you think of a question coming up, send me an email, give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever is best for you. And I'll be sure to get back to you guys as quickly as I can on those. And otherwise, y'all have a great evening. I hope you had a fantastic first week of class. Now that this is the last week class of the week, I believe, for all of you, if you're meeting in person. So until next time, yes? Talk to you guys later.
All right. Have a nice day.